Hi guys, and thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about these three bad boys. Now these three pedals, for those who don't know, we have a Ludwig WFL Speed King, we have a Ludwig Ghost pedal, and a Ludwig Universal Speedmaster. Now obviously I'm a DW guy and I've used DW and I will continue to use DW, but as a collector I tend to like to collect Ludwig items because it goes back to the days of falling in love with drums for the first time with Ringo Starr, Joe Morello, Buddy Rich, Alan White from Yes, Bill Bruford, and so on and so forth. And John Bonham, of course, and Ian Pace. And all of those guys were Ludwig players. And I imagined when I looked at the Ludwig brochure of all their feet, on the Speed King pedal playing away, and I was like, I need to do that, I need to have one of those. And at the time I was rocking a Premier 250, is it? It's the one with the blue body and the rubber foot plate. If you can remember, put the comment in the comments below, tell me what that pedal is, because they were brilliant. And I think actually Ian Pace liked them as well. I think there was a thread somewhere that his roadie used to buy loads of them because he really liked them and they were reasonably cheap. Anyway, we digress. So these aren't actually player pedals, though I must say this Speed King, because obviously it does disconnect, which is one of the cool things about the Speed King. You can put this, sometimes I'll go to a gig with the UFO case, which is like the student case where you can put a snare drum and you can put your sticks and mallets and brushes at the bottom, and sometimes I'll put a Speed King wrapped in a towel in there as well. If I'm playing somewhere in a city where you can't park, if it's like a little jazz gig or restaurant gig, I don't mind doing that. I'll sacrifice using my DW just for the sake of ease of going in with maybe 2 or 3 cases before the traffic wardens or police come along and give you a ticket and move you on. So yeah, they're not really player pedals. I've played them all at some point. These two, the Ghost pedal and the Universal Speedmaster, I've played at the studio just when I've set up and been playing for fun, really, just to see what they feel like to play. I mean, looking at the Speedmaster, they were making this right up until the 70s. I think I've got some 70s Ludwig catalogues where they're still actually making these bad boys. And it's a very streamlined pedal. It's only got one spring. And I think they made one with blue posts as well, which was reversible, so you could play it up underneath a cocktail drum if you were standing up. But it's got a really nice action. It's very, very smooth. A bit of occasionally. But it's reasonably good for the time. I'm not sure what period this is. This could be from any time from the 50s, 60s or 70s, I'm not sure. If you know for sure, let me know. It's a wicked pedal. I got this one and the Ghost from Tristan Head at Drumatic in Radstock, a really good vintage dealer. And as I say, it's got a leather belt drive here, and I just really like it. I would never gig it or session with it, but it's just a funky looking pedal and very streamlined. Whereas for some reason they went for the Ghost, which was a bit more chunky, and it's got 2 coiled springs in here. And it's also got Ghost actually written on these posts each side, which I'm kind of into that. It's kind of embossed as well, which is fairly cool. But yeah, this one too has got quite a nice action. It's a little bit chunky. It's not as quick as these two, but it's cool. I like the design of it. I love the fact that Ghost is embossed in there, and all this. I'm kind of into that kind of vibe. It's very cool pedal, and it just connects to the rim down here. Very standard kind of fitting. Nothing really funky about this, apart from this design. And I think when drummers were playing slightly heavier in the 70s and 80s, the boards would break up here. The casts weren't strong enough. But I think Shelly Manne, the jazz drummer, really liked this pedal. He thought it was a very cool pedal and he used it a lot. But I guess when you're playing lighter like that, it's okay. And I quite like the way it's elevated off the ground here. Your heel's slightly off the floor a bit more, which I think is quite a cool thing. If you're playing with your heel down, that could be nice to get some more speed and stability when you're, the heel slightly higher. And of course we know this is a Ludwig Speed King, classic. They're still being made today by the Ludwig company. This has got WFL on there, and later on it was just saying Ludwig drums. I think this could be, aged anywhere from 1950 up to mid-60s maybe. I've got some 1966 or 67 catalogues and they've still got this on there. And again, as I say, this is a cool pedal. I've used this a bit more than the other two. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be gigging with these. I'm just using them. I've just got them in the house as a bit of a drum nerd, really. Some people have asked me questions because one of the Speed Kings is usually up there when I'm doing my other Chatster camera. And a few people have said, well, what is that up there? And these other two are dotted around the house in other places. And if you're not a drummer, some people say, why have you got random bass drum pedals around your house? And then if you are a drummer, you come in and say, hey, that's mega cool, you've got one of those up in the bathroom, or you've got one of those, and it's just kind of, I'm a pro drummer, I can afford to get these, they're not expensive, anyone can get these. But the thing is, I remember what it was like when I was younger, looking at catalogues and getting excited about one day maybe owning these things, and now I'm in a position where I can own them and I enjoy it, and having them around the house just reminds me of why I started playing drums in the first place, and I make no apologies to that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little bit on these pedals. I love them, and one day there'll probably be another even older Ludwig one here if I feel the need, or maybe next to this one here I could have a later Ludwig pedal, Speed King, who knows, maybe one from the 80s. I did actually have one from the 80s that I bought with my dad, which unfortunately I sold at some point along the way, and I wish I hadn't, because obviously the memory of my dad would be within that pedal, the day I bought it and everything, memories. But unfortunately I sold it, but that was a great pedal too. It still did all the things you expect it to do. It was still noisy, and I know now they're bringing out new ones that they've sorted it out, but yeah, it would have been nice to have kept that. But anyway, it's cool that I have this one, and I've still got the memories of the other one, and the memories of my dad, God rest his soul. So please leave some comments down below if you want to say anything about these pedals, or any pedals that you collect, or anything you think about these pedals, or if you know how to age them. Because I have the books and stuff, but I'm quite willing just to have them and not too worried about this is a 57 or whatever, But please leave the comments. I enjoy them, and I'll get back to you. If I haven't got back to you already on some of the other threads, I will do. So thanks for tuning in, guys. There's my pedals. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon.